Hey, this is Janetta. Let me tell you something. Marilyn just came out of Serengeti.
Is it like coming out of Africa?
Girl, please. Maybe it's more like going into Africa. Oh, wow.
Sorry, Janetta.
Marilyn, and don't be sorry. You had a good time.
I had an excellent time.
Girl, please. Well, tell me a little bit about your trip.
Let me see. Where did we go? We went to
Serengeti, Maryland. I'm gonna let you know.
That's right.
You know, Maryland.
That's all that matters.
Okay, yeah.
It's a Serengeti, and that's very true.
Uh-huh.
Because, as I had said before, going into the Serengeti was something I had planned to do for over 30 years.
That's what you call your bucket list.
My bucket list. Was only one item, and it was the Serengeti. And on the 25th, I was picked up by Avoset Safaris, and the adventure began. On the 25th, it ended yesterday at, when did I get home? I got home too late.
By 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, that's another story. But the trip was amazing. It was better than I expected because the peak season for the migration of the wildebeest, it ends in August, and I believe the peak season is in March. And I just couldn't get my things together for either of those two periods. So the closest I knew I had to come see you. I was compelled to come see you, and I said, I have to go see
Thank God
Janetta
for the Serengeti.
this year. I have to go see Janetta.
Well, I'm glad you had to come see me.
So, in addition, it's like, well, while I'm seeing Janetta, I'll do the Serengeti. However, this is not the peak season. Most of the migration is done. It's also the beginning of the rains. So there were many things that I had no control over that could have made this trip less than wonderful or below what I had hoped. But what actually happened was it just exceeded my expectations.
It did. It really did.
Because the minute we crossed the border into the Serengeti, where there is a sign that says, "Welcome to the Serengeti," every animal that I had thought I would see during peak season, during the migration, was right there. I mean, almost as like a welcoming committee.
Oh, wow.
It was really, it was just spectacular.
Now, how did you do? I mean, did you just go there like I did and come back out? Or you spent several days there?
Oh, my goodness.
Tell them about your camp out venture.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, please tell them about your camping venture.
Let me talk about my
going to bathroom
animals.
at night with the lions out there.
Oh, let me talk about my animals first.
Okay,
so
okay.
Again, many people go into safaris or the Serengeti or wherever the national parks are to see the animals. For me, it was more than the animals, because when I was young and very intelligent, I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be what's known as an ecologist, specifically in terms of the relationships between plants, peoples, and animals, and their environment. So for me, the going into the Serengeti was about all of that, being able to see how the animals reacted to certain environments, how certain birds built nests among thorns, and understanding why that tree had thorns. It was, like I said, for me, it was just a totally excellent experience. And one of the most interesting observations that I made were between the male and female lions. And there were two male lions who were consuming a kill. And maybe about, because I'm from the city, I'd say maybe about a block away, there were two females with cubs. And they came to where the male lions were consuming this kill with the cubs. And as each female lion approached the kill, where the male lions were, each female, I'm trying to think of an appropriate word. I'll say presented herself to each of the male lions, almost as an embrace. And the males acknowledged the females, their presence. It was just so emotional.
Well, I tell you one thing, good thing they don't have equal opportunity up there, women's rights.
It was really just so interesting for me again to make those human connections with what these animals were doing.
How they acknowledge each other.
How they acknowledge
male
each
and
other.
female.
Yeah.
They acknowledge the differences, right?
Oh, absolutely.
She didn't grab the kill and say, I can do it myself, right?
And that's what many of us, there were 6 of us in the group, because we didn't know what the reactions were going to be. And so I enjoyed all of it.
Boy, I'm telling you that I'm glad this new civilization and this new women's freedom had hit the Lion King.
that may have been a little catastrophic.
Yeah. So you really enjoyed it.
I did.
And you went on a budget trip. Let them know about the budget
Don't
trip.
do budget, y'all.
Don't.
If you are,
if you're able to,
if you are over 45,
don't do budget.
And you got some weight issues or some joint issues, don't do budget.
If you can't sleep outside in the tent,
if you can't get up off the floor, don't do budget. if you got bug issues, don't do budget.
But in talking about that, how was the food daily?
Interesting. The lunches, the breakfast, everything was good. Lunch was always really excellent. That was consistently good, even on budget.
Oh wow! Well, that counts.
That sure does count.
Yeah.
I'd be a little miserable if the food if I had aching knees.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
Ooh, and bad food.
Now the personality of people, I'm always talking about the personality, the love. I just feel the love. I just do. I mean, I get upset sometimes because sometimes they don't talk up like they should, but I mean, the kind of patience that they have. And how'd you feel about that? How was
which people you
customer
talking about?
service? Oh, about the customer service. How was your customer service?
Don't do budget.
Don't do budget. I guess that answers it all.
That's why I got home. That's why I got home at 8 p.m. Yeah, they kind of someone will pick you up at the office.
Yeah.
Well, they never told someone
to pick you up. Yeah, but I mean, all in all, you've had some wild times here in Africa.
Yeah.
And you got off that plane and not knowing what to really expect, because you had read quite a bit about the Serengeti and some of the things.
Yeah.
But you never know the reception, what to expect and anticipate. And there's something that I'd like to say that maybe so others that come, they will understand it. Here in Africa, people that are not, I'm older than you, that are up in age, that after you get 60, you're an old person. And they're not used to old women traveling by themselves or being independent or whatever. They're not used to women being independent at all. And so a lot of times the help that they try to give us is kind of an insult a little bit to us. Like, leave me alone, I can do it myself.
No, that's you, Janetta.
Oh, okay.
That's you,
You
Janetta.
can take it, huh?
Can
you take it?
They were fine, because again, we did not have that much interaction with the locals. So it was pretty much, even though the company was a local company.
Okay.
So I didn't have those issues. Yeah. The group that we traveled with, I was the eldest, I sat in the
That
front.
no, Marilyn, you weren't the oldest
No,
one.
trust me.
Girl, you were not the oldest one.
I was the older one. The group that we traveled with um, was international. We had a couple from Germany, a couple from Poland, a gentleman from Ohio who came by himself, even though he has a girlfriend, because her girlfriend doesn't do certain.
Were you a minority?
And what else is new?
Okay.
And we had a young
one
lady.
Of these days, one of these days, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna come over here.
And we had a young lady from Scotland.
I don't know if you. I'm kind of possessive. To me, this belongs to us.
Well, Janetta, I'm not.
You're not.
You're the politician.
You're not.
I've got certain issues because, like yourself, I am aware of the Western history and presence in Africa, and it is troublesome.
Yeah.
And yes, I do have an energy about the tourism that I'll say is supporting Africa.
Yeah, and you know the really sad thing about it is that fortunately you went with a company that's an African company. I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went with a company that's an African company, but the majority of the companies here are not African companies. A lot of the money that's made in Serengeti goes to Europe or the United States, and that makes it difficult for me. But that doesn't take away the beauty of everything.
Exactly.
But it's just amazing to me that we have such hesitation about coming, and when they're just tripping over each other to get here.
Yeah.
And it's just such a beautiful experience, Marilyn. You know, this is one of the things that I say. Yeah, I know there's a thing that you can walk over heaven, all over heaven, and you just won't have no limitations. But I'm glad to be here to be able to see what I could not even imagine.
Yeah.
Because based on what you see, you just couldn't imagine it. There's no way. No, I mean, you've read books, I'm sure. And you read a lot of things that make you excited about coming, but then that actual experience you had there, is just amazing. And did they tell you stories about the Maasai people, about the Maasais and?
Well, we saw the Maasai all along the road,
all up in there,
all up and down.
I mean,
and as I think I said in an earlier video, it's like no one wears red like the black man.
Oh yeah,
it's just. As you're watching or viewing the landscape, you'll see red, the brilliance of red, and you know that it's the Maasai.
And I like their stature. I like the way they stand.
But I have to, my Maasai experience was with you.
Yeah.
That was with you, and it's been special. I think one of the things that really made me that I was really happy about was that the weather held up.
Yeah.
Because when
you were very fortunate because this is rainy season.
Exactly.
When you told me in August you were going to come this month, I said, "Are you crazy? I mean, it's going to be raining." You said, "Well, I just had to take that chance because this is what I've decided now." And you know, but we need rain.
Yes.
It's not really what you call dry, but it hasn't been raining much, so it's been a good treat for you. And it's not too hot.
It's not too hot
right now.
We had moments during our trip when it was supposed to be hot. It was the heat of. That's the only thing that annoyed me a little bit about the company is because they call them game drives. I hate the term, but that's what it is. Animals, especially some of the predators, are active early in the morning. Usually we wouldn't be leaving till 9 o'clock.
Oh wow,
and that's like
you should have been up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely, we only had one day like that.
Oh wow!
I mean, my body was grateful because I don't like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But the reality of that, of nature and how it functions, we should have been
up earlier,
up much earlier.
Yeah, even when we went up to Lake Manyara, we could actually see the pelicans up there. They have pelicans up there. We could actually have seen some of the birds and some of the things, and maybe saw some of the wildlife. and it would have been exciting to see a tree climbing lion.
Yes.
That would have been exciting. But
Actually, we did see.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did have it. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it was special. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I came because in November it's not as hot, so it wasn't oppressive, and the weather held up. We had rain a couple of nights, but during the day, so I was I guess God said you're going to have a wonderful
Good time. Well, it was a good time for you to come. Now you're going to leave me. You're going to leave me.
I'll never leave you.
Well, okay, I appreciate that. I
you know
appreciate
that. You know what I do when I leave.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And I want you to come back. I want to make you so miserable at home that you come back. That you come back here. Yeah. I mean, you have to come back and visit.
I will.
You know, but you're going to stop in Ethiopia a little bit. And you got a break and you're going to.
I've got a 26-hour layover.
Oh, congratulations. Oof.
It's frightening because it's like you can get involved in doing stuff because some of the tours, if they're full day tours, but I still have to get to the airport, so I don't want to get caught in the middle of being somewhere and missing my flight again.
Well, I wish I was going to go with you because I want to see. Well, let's just say Janetta would like to feel Ethiopia.
Oh, you would love the food.
I love Ethiopian food, but I have memories of such good-looking Ethiopian men. The women are pretty, but oh gosh, they have some good-looking men in Ethiopia. They're good-looking men all over Africa. Yeah, that's one of the privileges of being blind. I get to touch the muscle. I get to touch the muscle.
Your grandson's blushing.
That's one of the privileges. Whenever a woman asks me, could you hold my arm? No, I don't hold your arm. Don't touch me, lady. I want to feel the muscle. Yeah, but thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And I can't say this is the end of your journey for here, because really, basically, I think your journey is really a beginning. I think I think Africa for you is going to be like some perfumes are. The real smell, the value of the aroma is going to come a little bit later on, and that you're going to experience some things. You're going to hash them over in your mind, and when you go back to Atlanta, it's a conversation, as a definite conversation you can share with your family and friends and neighbors and your cat. Talk to your cat about it.
But it's so funny. You bring up the cat.
Oh yeah.
So as I'm watching, the big cats and the cat, because I'm trapped by a cat.
Yeah.
And I realized, because my cat likes drinking dirty water. It's like I put out fresh water and she ignores it. She goes find a puddle in the street and drinks from the puddle. Big cats like dirty water. There was no clean water in the Serengeti. They were all kind of muddy puddles. And this is what the cats drink. So my cat is doing what is totally natural to her. She doesn't need clean water. I was like, that's just natural. It's natural for me. The cat likes dirty water. So I'll leave the cat on.
Well, we're going to close now. My grandson always say, Grandma, you can't keep the people forever. But this is a conversation that could go on because, Marilyn, I am so happy. One of the things about traveling that we can talk about is that developing friendships. And our friendship started because of La Terraza in Costa Rica. And it has stayed. And many of our other friends that we have, and we make them jealous. Hey, Devin. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. You got to come.
Everybody lives their life the best they can.
Yeah, they do.
Now, when I get home, I've got a certain thing called a credit card bill.
Oh my God! Don't talk about those kinds of things.
It's going to tell me how well I lived this life.
Oh, well,
but you can't
well,
take it with you.
Well, in
And,
the United States, if you don't have credit, you're under suspicion.
Well,
You know, if you're a suspicious character,
oh,
you know, the FBI might come after you because you
Yeah.
don't have a credit card. I mean, you know, because the United States is, you know, it's just so you might as well put something on it.
Yep.
So you had a good time.
And not only that, this particular credit card, this card was dedicated to
for
this
traveling.
trip, for this trip. It
Yeah.
was like, this is the one. The Serengeti is going on this card. And I'll make lots of points and travel some more
Yeah.
after I pay it off.
Oh, oh, girl. Well, Marilyn, we're going to say goodbye. Hey, if you enjoyed this video with Marilyn and I, share it with somebody that might be thinking about going to Serengeti. So they'll see Marilyn is, I'm not going to tell you her age, but she's up there. And she has crossed some 60s. She has crossed some 60s.
60s.
Yeah.
NTs.
But she's still going. She just brings her inhalers and her whatever she has.
That's not even. That's another video.
Whatever. But you can make it.
When we were young, we used to travel with bikinis.
Yeah, it didn't take
pumps.
much. Yeah, it didn't take much. Right?
Now I'm gonna embarrass myself.
Now you got
now I'm gonna embarrass. Now we travel with panty liners, CPAP machines,
a little bit of everything. Right?
Like, and I was pissed, but it's like, if you want to go, this is what you got to do.
You got to go. You got to do it. you got to do it. You know, I was thinking the other day is that usually, you know, lotion, you know, you a little bit more oil in your skin when you're younger. But when you get older, you just keep on rubbing more and more, more and more and more. And you got to take your lotion. You got to take your face cream. You got to take your hair stuff. You got to take your medicine. You got to take your everything. But that's okay. You take it, you pack it, and you come on. Isn't that right,
That's
now?
what we do.
Hey, so
I used to travel with my luggage for my clothes when I come to La
Oh, and spices. You carried your spices.
Not here.
Not here. Okay.
Usually it's like, because this is not my house.
Yeah.
But I carry my luggage for my clothes. I have luggage for my cookware and my spices. And now I have to add another piece for my medical equipment.
Yeah. But you got here, didn't you?
Yep. It is what it is.
Well, we're going to shut it off because I don't want my grandson telling me, Grandma, it was so long. But we're going to shut it off. And I love you, Marilyn.
I love you.
And thank you for coming and spending time with me. I sure appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you like this video, please share it with somebody. Make a comment. Tell Marilyn about herself. Talk to Marilyn. And she's right there in Atlanta, big girl. She's just fantastic. And it's just beautiful to spend time with you, Marilyn. I appreciate you coming in more ways than one. And I'll see you again soon. So we're going to say, hey, bye-bye. See you later. Hey, this is Jamila, and you're watching Africa Speak.